Direct Support Professional Initial Training, presented by CEU Certificates. Module 5, Health and Safety, Part 2. Section 1, Types of Major Unusual Incidences. As you learned from the module Health and Safety Part 1, a major unusual incident, or MUI, is the alleged, suspected, or actual occurrence of an incident that poses a major risk to a person's health or safety. MUIs are categorized into 19 different types. MUI categories have different procedures to make sure they are investigated thoroughly and as part of a quality improvement process. Accidental or suspicious death is the death of a person resulting from an accident or suspicious circumstance. Attempted suicide means when a person physically attempts to take their own life and it results in emergency room treatment, inpatient observation, or hospital admission. Death other than an accidental or suspicious death is the death of a person by natural causes. Exploitation is the unlawful or improper use of a person's resources for monetary or personal benefit, profit, or gain. Failure to report is the failure to report abuse or neglect that resulted in a substantial risk of harm. Law enforcement is any incident that results in the person being tased, arrested, charged, or incarcerated. A medical emergency is an incident where emergency medical intervention is required to save a person's life, including choking relief techniques, CPR, and the use of an AED or epinephrine auto-injector. Misappropriation is the act of depriving, defrauding, or obtaining a person's property. Missing person is an incident where a person's whereabouts are unknown and they are believed to be at risk or to pose a risk of harm to themselves or others. Neglect is an incident where there is a duty to provide a person with medical care, personal care, or other support or services, and the failure to do so results in serious injury or places that person or another person at risk of serious injury. A rights code violation is a violation of the rights enumerated in Section 5123.62 of the Ohio Revised Code that creates a likely risk of harm to health or welfare. Sexual abuse is unlawful sexual contact or conduct, including public indecency and voyeurism. A significant injury is an injury that is not considered abuse or neglect that results in a concussion, broken bone, and other serious injuries. Unanticipated hospitalization is any admission or hospital stay over 24 hours that is not pre-scheduled or planned. It does not include hospital admissions associated with specific symptoms of conditions specified in a person's ISP. Unapproved behavioral support is the use of a prohibited measure or the use of a restrictive measure not approved by a human rights committee that results in a risk to the person's health and welfare. Verbal abuse is the use of words, gestures, or other communicative means to threaten, coerce, intimidate, harass, or humiliate. Physical abuse is physical force that is reasonably expected to result in harm. A peer-to-peer act is exploitation, theft, or a verbal, sexual, or physical act between two people served. Prohibited sexual relations is consensual sexual conduct or contact between a developmental disabilities employee and a person who is not their spouse and for whom the developmental disabilities employee was employed or under contract to provide care or supervise the provision of care at the time of the incident. Some MUIs are required to be reported within 4 hours after the incident or discovery of the incident. Those are accidental or suspicious death, exploitation, misappropriation, neglect, peer-to-peer act, physical abuse, prohibited sexual relations, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, and inquiry from the media regarding an MUI.